Dollar. Dirt and money, no soul. Had to go and get it, ain't no time to kick it. Got a stack and flip for my foes. Dollar. Please tell me you can hear me. Don't turn your back and don't neglect me. Just let me know if you need me. Dollar. Let me watch out for my partners. Keep my money long, get my team strong. Let me run away from my problems.
Yep, what's good, original crew, man? We're back. Hey, man, we got Pat CC in the place to be with Kid and C. We got the Key and Peele situation is crazy. Hey, man, with that being said, before we get into it, make sure you check out the links in the description box.
Down below.
You already know where to go if you want to further support. All you got to do is check out down below. Also, if you enjoyed today's video,
lock it in with a thumbs up.
Let's go, baby. Let's check it out. Let's see what it's about, man.
Fans were shocked when Key and Peele abruptly announced that they would be ending their iconic sketch comedy show in 2015. At the time, everyone assumed the duo was simply ready to move on to bigger opportunities, and that was true for one of them. Jordan Peele's Hollywood career skyrocketed, becoming one of the most respected filmmakers in the industry. Keegan-Michael Key, on the other hand, has been jobbing for commercials and insignificant roles in films, which is shocking because Key was always considered the more popular of the two and expected to be more successful in the long run. But recently, a comedian who worked closely with Keegan revealed something that completely changed the way fans looked at Key and Peele's relationship. And now many are looking back at awkward interviews, strategic silence, and most importantly, how Keegan's wife may secretly be the reason why the duo feels so distant today. However, there are a lot of baseless rumors and misinformation spreading, as well as important facts we need to dive into before you come to the conclusion of what happened to Key and Peele. Despite the show only running for 3 years, the legacy and impact of Key and Peele cannot be minimized. Just take a look at the Comedy Central YouTube channel. 18 out of their 20 most viewed videos are all Key and Peele sketches, amassing over 1 billion views just on YouTube alone. Think about all the classic Comedy Central roasts, TV shows, and stand-up specials. None of them can even hold a candle to Key and Peele. But it could not have happened if the two didn't develop a deeply personal connection off screen. They were both raised as biracial children to a black father and a white mother, growing up with the unique identity of being mixed. Sometimes they felt that they were never black enough. Sometimes they felt they were never white enough, and were forced to code switch to assimilate with whoever was in the room. This shared life experience would become central to their comedy and to their chemistry in life in general. After moving from Detroit to Chicago, Keegan-Michael Key crossed paths with Jordan Peele, making the rounds in the local improv comedy scene. The two realized they had incredible synergy, so they started working together and were eventually picked up as writers and talent on the Fox sketch comedy show Mad TV.
Banker is prepared to offer you $350,000.
No deal.
We going for the million, dog. We going for the million. We going for the million. Don't matter what you say, because we're going for the million.
The few sketches that they did together on Mad TV displayed their incredible chemistry and indicated that they needed their own show.
What do I always say? Stay on the inside.
Jinx, no backsies, no penny taxis.
What?
You ain't supposed to talk. Jinx, double jinx, triple jinx, Googleplex. Damn!
Hey, guys!
Interruptions! Hands up, seas! Jinx, go away! Come again another day!
Unfortunately, their time on Mad TV was short-lived until the entire program was canceled in 2009. Afterwards, Key landed a supporting role in the short-lived sitcom Gary Unmarried, which was canceled in 2010. Meanwhile, Jordan's pilot for a comedy show titled The Station had been shut down by Fox executives, leaving both of them without work. That's when their shared talent manager suggested that the two get together and try to launch their own project.
So my sitcom got canceled and his pilot for Fox didn't go. And our manager said, would you guys be interested in doing something together? Because I've got a situation that I think I can leverage.
The result of this was them creating their own sketch comedy show called Key and Peele, which was picked up by Comedy Central and slated for a 2012 release. Their series debut came right after the season 4 premiere of Tosh.0, setting the comedy duo up for the biggest opportunity of their careers. And to say they capitalized on it would be an understatement. Two of their most iconic sketches were in the very first episode, starting with a classic where the two attempt to say a forbidden word in regards to their wives, which by the end of this video you'll see how incredibly ironic it is that this was the very first Key and Peele sketch.
I looked this woman in the eye, I said, bitch, you told me 6:45.
You said that.
Yeah, I said.
In the same episode, their next bit was Jordan acting as President Obama giving a speech to the country, and Key acting as his anger translator, turning his respectful words into aggressive commands.
I just want to say to my critics, I hear your voices, and I'm aware of your concerns.
So maybe if you can chill the hell out for like a second, then maybe I can focus on some you know.
The show was an instant hit. Over 2 million viewers tuned in for the debut episode, and future episodes would continue to pull in millions of viewers. Every season they put out a new sketch that would become a cultural staple, like the East-West College Bowl, where they poked fun at ridiculous names of college athletes.
Hingle McCringleberry, Penn State University.
Le Carpetron Duke Maria, Florida Atlantic University.
Dinklage Morgan, University of South Florida.
Speaking of names, we have to mention the substitute teacher bit, where Key cannot pronounce extremely common American names.
So why didn't you say it the first time I said Aaron?
Because it's pronounced Aaron?
Son of a... You done messed up, Aaron!
People still call me Aaron to this day. To this day. They had a way of making relatable humor refreshingly absurd, but I personally liked when they would lean into their ridiculousness a little more. My favorite sketch of theirs is Prepared for Terry's, where the two act as borderline schizophrenics who are trying to convince the passenger next to them that they will protect the entire plane if a terrorist tries to take over.
You gonna have to be ready to kidnap a Terry.
You're gonna have to be ready to torture a Terry. It's Morgan, University of South Florida.
Oh Lord Jesus, I hate you too.
You gonna have to be ready to kidnap a Terry.
You're gonna have to be ready to torture a Terry.
I don't think that's necessary.
Absolutely, you have to fireboard those mother jammers.
And if this is somehow the first time you're ever hearing of Key and Peele, I think the biggest sign of their success and cultural significance is that the literal president of the United States invited Keegan-Michael Key to do a remake of their anger translator bit, but during a real speech.
Because despite our differences, we count on the press to shed light on the most important issues of the day.
And we can count on Fox News to terrify old white people with some nonsense.
In 3 short years, Key and Peele managed to create a culturally iconic sketch comedy show filled with quotable moments reminiscent of early 2000s comedy films. And since YouTube and social media was on track to replace TV and movie theaters, Key and Peele proved that the future of comedy was in good hands. But then, shockingly, in 2015, Keegan-Michael Key announced that they were ending the show. This is our final season, and it's not because of Comedy Central, it's us. It was just time for us to explore other things, together and apart. I compare it to Gene Wilder and Richard Pryor. We might make a movie and then do our own thing for 3 years and then come back and do another movie. Fans were initially disappointed, but in a way, the show lived on much longer than 3 years due to its success on YouTube. Over the years, fans would be scrolling YouTube and randomly see a Key and Peele sketch get recommended to them. It could be one they've seen a dozen times or one they didn't even recognize, but if they click, they can get a guaranteed laugh. Plus, in 2016, the duo released their action comedy film, Keanu, seemingly indicated that their future Hollywood careers would be them working side by side. The duo served as both the writers and leading actors for the film, which gave the movie a sense of familiarity for fans of the show. Now, the film was met with a lukewarm response from critics, and it only grossed $20 million in the box office. Considering the film's $15 million budget, plus the millions of dollars spent on advertising, the movie significantly underperformed. With that being said, the movie wasn't bad, it was just the first step in a new chapter for the comedy duo. But then, Jordan Peele shocked the world with the announcement of his directorial debut psychological horror film, Get Out. The movie followed a young black man named Chris visiting the wealthy white family of his girlfriend, who didn't know that he was black. The family initially appeared to be progressive and accepting towards the boyfriend, but it was awkward. Like they were so eager to express their appreciation for black culture. The family's hired staff to help with their house duties are all black and behave strangely. All of their white white friends are overly interested in Chris, seemingly obsessing over his black identity. Later, Chris finds out that his girlfriend had been dating black people all of her life, but luring them to her family's estate where they would be hypnotized, psychologically manipulated, and then sold for a sinister procedure. The family would surgically remove the black person's brain and replace them with the consciousness of the aging white clients who wanted to continue living through the younger black bodies. The scariest part is that the victims themselves wouldn't fully die either. Their consciousness would remain trapped deep inside their own minds in what the film calls the sunken place, forced to helplessly watch someone else control their body forever. Jordan was one of the trailblazers in weaving social commentary in a genre film in the 2010s. The film was universally celebrated for its terrifying atmosphere, uncomfortably hilarious moments, and unapologetic social commentary. With a $5 million budget, the movie grossed $250 million at the box office and received countless awards from various institutions, including the Oscar for Best Original Screenplay. Overnight, Jordan Peele went from that funny guy from Comedy Central to a legitimately serious creative mind in the entertainment industry. What's interesting is that Keegan-Michael Key was primarily regarded as the heavy hitter of the duo. In 2015 and 2016, Key was nominated for Outstanding Supporting Actor in a comedy series at the Emmys. However, Peele was not nominated for the same role. Key also gained his relevancy from his appearance at the White House Correspondents' Dinner, something that Peele was also excluded from. Not to mention that Key received way more acting gigs in major TV shows and movies during Key and Peele's run. Most people believed Key would be the more successful of the two, and yet Jordan was now receiving worldwide praise without Key's involvement at all. Well, that's not entirely true. Keegan-Michael Key is actually a major reason why Get Out got made in the first place.
Were you reading this at all as he was writing? Were you involved in it all?
Yeah. He said I wasn't involved in any of the writing, but he sent me the script, and I remember at one point in time I either wrote him. No, I was in the room, and I came into the office the next day and I put the script on his desk. I went, I said, this could be something. And then I went and talked to a good friend of mine, Sean McKittrick. I made a movie with Sean McKittrick from QC Entertainment, who made it, and I said, you guys should really read Jordan's scripts. And then now here we are. And like Sean came up to me at a party, and he hugged me. And I'm like, why are you hugging me? He's like, you brought the script to me. And I was like, look, but it was amazing. It would have been. I could bring 1 million scripts to you, but if it wasn't that amazing, who would have made it? It's such a fresh story.
And as if things couldn't get any better for Jordan, he followed up with a producer role on the 2018 film Black Klansman, which also received 6 Academy Award nominations. And in 2019, Jordan continued his reign of dominance as a director with the release of Us, a psychological horror film following a family on vacation that gets terrorized by another family that looks exactly like them. Once again, critics and fans loved it. The film grossed over $250 million worldwide against a budget of only around $20 million, proving Get Out wasn't some lucky one-time success. In just a few years, Jordan Peele had fully transcended comedy and established himself as one of the most commercially successful and critically respected directors in Hollywood. And with every massive success, the gap between him and Keegan-Michael Key only seemed to grow wider. Key stayed consistently busy between 2016 and 2020, stacking dozens of television appearances, voice acting roles, commercials, guest spots, and supporting performances across sitcoms, animated shows, and streaming series. Shows like Modern Family, The Simpsons, Archer, Friends from College, and Green Eggs and Ham. Instead of evolving into a singular creative force with a clear artistic identity, Key slowly started feeling more like a talented utility player in Hollywood. He was everywhere, but never the main character. And after Jordan's third directorial release, Nope, in 2022, which was yet another resounding success loved by fans and critics, you could argue that Jordan Peele has completely eclipsed his role in Key and Peele, with his efforts as a horror writer and director becoming the focal point of his legacy. The same cannot be said for Key, as many still remember him primarily as the guy from Key and Peele. I think it's interesting that Key is doing commercials that show up on Hulu, and Peele is one of the driving forces of cinema. I kinda hate comparing them because Key is also incredibly talented, but Peele is truly on another level. duo. And while they may have grown apart in the public eye, very few question the legitimacy of their friendship behind the scenes. And that's because they did things like joining forces in a Netflix animated film called Wendell and Wild, where Jordan and Keegan serve as voice actors for two of the primary characters. And although the animation was captivating, many fans felt disappointed in the story. The duo also teamed up in Toy Story 4 to play side characters Ducky and Bunny. People had assumed that because they did these collaborations that everything was all good between them. But Key would speak on this directly during an interview in 2024. We don't see each other that often anymore, which is, to me, a tragedy. Key went on to explain in a separate interview that them living far apart from each other.
Snap. I wasn't trying to. I just wonder who is the, like, not who. Well, technically it could be who. What's the main reason why the show ended? Because he said, you know what I'm saying, was it because it was because of them?
Because it was, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm wondering, like, who was the one that between the two kind of wanted to do?
One goes to the other and say, "Hey."
I could not to do, but or no, I'm not going to go that way. But then one go to the other and be like, "Hey, I kind of got interest in doing other things. I want to try to see if I can veer off and do something different." You know?
Yeah.
Because it has to be something between the two, because it was y'all decision. I doubt y'all mutually came together and said, yeah, this is what I want to do. One had to bring the idea up to the other and said, hey, I want to start pursuing other things, or hey, this might be holding me back from being able to do, you know? Because if the show ended because of them, one of y'all have to be the reason why the show ended.
A tragedy. Key went on to explain in a separate interview that them living far apart from each other played a major factor in their estrangement. Whenever we have an opportunity to see each other, we do. Whenever we have an opportunity, I certainly enjoy spending time with him. So when my travels take me to Los Angeles, he's usually one of the first calls that I make. I land and I go, "Hey buddy, we're in town." And often we get to have dinner. Our relationship is like a good friend's relationship, where you pick up where you left off, or the little things that you shared in the past, you just go right back into it again. I look forward to seeing him in 2025.
And that's the thing with some, like, if the friendship is legitimate, like a legitimate friendship, you don't have to always be seen with them. Like, there's times where friendships is, hey, you go do you, I go do me. When we come back together, we catch up, see what's been going on in your life. But it's not like we ever skip the beat. We pick up like, hey, I just saw you yesterday, but fill me in on everything that you've been going on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's true friendship. I think some people look at friendships like, oh, I gotta be around you all the time, or I gotta talk to you every day. You don't have to, bro. Especially as you get older, you mature, you have families, you have a spouse. That's where my main attention is gonna go to. And I think the selfishness aspect of a friendship is, okay, even though you got that, for our friendship to still matter, you have to be giving me some kind of attention, you know? And I never forgot about you. It just, life is continuing, but it doesn't continue without you. We're going to catch up when we catch up.
What's interesting is that Jordan Peele gets interviewed way more than Keegan because he's way more active and front-facing in Hollywood, and yet he has said literally nothing about his former comedy partner, which creates the appearance that Jordan Peele has moved on while Key continues to live in the past. Like when Key was asked about a Key and Peele reunion, and he said, "Right now we're expressing ourselves that way, and I think we'll find ourselves back together. I do not have a timeline for that, but I would jump at the chance to work with him again in any capacity." Fans had no reason to believe that there was any bad blood between them. Maybe they had simply grown apart naturally over time, but that assumption started falling apart after a comedian who worked closely with Keegan publicly shared a story that completely changed the way people looked at Key and Peele's relationship.
Before we get into that, I do wonder, because I have seen people say this too regarding it too, is Jordan Peele's been doing all these movies, right? I have seen people like, Key is the actor. Why haven't you got Key in any of your films? And I'm like, is it because he like Jordan does such like serious films? Yeah. Where he's like, hey, Keegan might not be
fit. Yeah. Whatever, any of the roles.
Or does he want to go into that lane? But I have seen people question that though.
Yeah.
Which to me, that is a good question to ask though. Like,
Like, do y'all expect for him to put him in some films, every film, or just one out of the many he's put out? Because
he's done a lot to the point where he possibly could have had a role
in one of the films.
At least one of the films.
But then, like, the films have been what they are. Where do he fit?
But he could. But I always say this with a lot of people who's in this entertainment world. You should be versatile.
Yeah, I agree.
You shouldn't be like, say for instance, like Jamie Foxx.
Yeah.
Jamie Foxx has always said he never wanted to be like typecast. He didn't want to be just molded into this comedian that's not like necessarily a stand-up comedian, but like a film and television comedian. He wanted to be able to have more serious roles and do the Ray. But if people only put him in a funny box, we never get Ray.
Yeah.
The movie.
Yeah. Or
a plethora of other films he has done. I think Jamie Foxx is one of the best versatile actors out there.
Yeah.
And so, and he's just that damn talented.
Yeah.
Because even he branched off and did music.
Yeah.
So, like
definitely.
I'll say that with anybody. I don't think you should ever want to just be typecast. I think you should be able to be versatile with every subject. Like even when it comes down to doing content like YouTube or whatever. Like even with us, we're reactors, but we don't want people to just typecast us or put us in a box of they do this type of content. No, we're very versatile. We like to talk on different subject matters. Like it's human nature.
Yeah, but I was also gonna say, as far as like, I guess people not expecting him to be in every single thing Jordan does, right? Because then that defeats the purpose of breaking up. We broke up, we split, as far as. And the statement that that was made, hey, we're gonna do our thing. We wanna, dibble and dabble in this apart from each other. So you go out and branch out and do your thing, and I'm gonna do my thing.
Yeah,
like we can come together, like they come together on certain, some things. Hey, we voice actors here. We see each other when we see each other. Like I don't. But it may be something else going on that's not being, that may come up. I don't know. I'm not privy to everything. I'm just saying.
In April of 2026, comedian Akilah Hughes shared her experience working with Keegan-Michael Key using the not-so-subtle code names of Lock and Banana.
He is, and I don't think this is too shady, I think it's true, the less successful half of a comedy duo that was prolific in the 2010s. Perhaps, I think their code names could be Lock and Banana.
She also tweeted, if you ever wondered why K and PEL don't work together anymore, watch the next video in this thread. So there is absolutely no confusion in regards to who this story is about. Akilah got connected with Keegan-Michael Key while developing her own sketch comedy show, not necessarily for his creative input, but because she needed an established celebrity attached as an executive producer to help make the project more attractive to networks and studio executives, which is very common in the industry. But with Keegan came his wife, Elle Key, who supposedly wiggled her way to an executive producer role for the show.
My agent at the time calls me and she goes, how is pitching going? How do people feel about Locke? And I'm like, oh my God, they love him. Everybody loves Locke. And she's like, that's great, that's great. How do they feel about his wife, who is now somehow the executive producer on my show? And I'm like, I hadn't really thought about it. I don't think people like her very much.
But the strategy was effective. Having Keegan on as a producer landed them an official offer from Disney. Then one day, Akilah was contacted by Jordan Peele's wife, Chelsea Peretti, warning her about Keegan's wife and her involvement.
She says, I'm just calling you because I wish someone would have warned me. She does about an hour of a monologue at me about how, she thinks that his wife is like Phil Hartman's wife. That she wouldn't trust her to hold a baby. That she once poured alcohol on her birthday cake and this person is sober. And she says, there's no accounting for how much money she's cost that black man.
Despite the warning, Akilah continued working with them. After all, she had quit her job and moved to LA to chase this dream, but it proved to be a mistake. Apparently, Elle, who remember was not ever asked to be a part of this show, continued to insert her unwanted opinions in the writer's room.
Her her notes are, comedy happens in threes. The letter K is funny. And finally, give the audience some candy. Now, how do you implement these notes?
None of the writers thought her ideas were good or funny, so they were ignored, to which Elle responded by threatening to sue the network. Akilah doesn't add much context here, but she is trying to make the accusation that Elle was just trying to ruin the project since it wasn't going her way. As a result, the show was stalled and eventually was canceled altogether.
And so, that is just a project that I could not talk about, that was never announced. That was supposed to be my dream.
Now, first of all, there weren't many jokes in Akilah's performance. The inclusion of the live band made this some kind of exaggerated live podcast gossip storytime session, so it couldn't exactly be brushed off as, oh, well, it's just a joke. And even though all of the details Akilah shared are incredibly vague, it's unlikely she would create a 12-minute story of completely baseless lies, especially considering the allegations aren't really that scathing. Like, the idea of established Hollywood celebrities derailing a dream project for an upcoming creator because it didn't go their way sounds like something that happens every day in Hollywood. But it was this small added detail at the very end of Akilah's performance that has completely changed people's perspective of Keegan-Michael Key.
He never gets to be himself in public, and his partner has won Oscars. And everyone knows that his wife has ruined his career. It is diminishing returns. He's doing insurance commercials.
After she said that, sensationalized headlines emerged from Akilah's performance. Akilah Hughes says she knows exactly why Key and Peele don't work together anymore. Key's crazy wife destroyed Key and Peele. And while Akilah never said it directly, fans jumped to conclusions that Key and Peele had been driven apart by Key's annoying and power-hungry wife. And there is actually a little bit of evidence to back up those claims. 8 months before this story blew up, a blind item emerged about Key's wife. Personally, I happen to know that Elle Key IRL is a massive narcissist and straight up abusive to the working people in her vicinity. She's using Keegan's talent, fame, and likability to get herself in the room, in front of cameras, a microphone, calls herself a producer or director, and cuts a paycheck. Obviously, she needs to use Keegan because she has no talent or skill sets of her own to stand out without him. Everyone close to him who cares about him sees the abuse and wishes he'd leave her. And while this might sound...
I wonder, was he married to her during the show?
Excuse me.
2018, no. Hey, he said the show in what, 2015?
2015, was it 2015, 2016? 15, yeah.
So they wasn't together then, so...
They wasn't married.
Married, yeah, true. That is true.
Is it...
What you about to ask?
No, I was just going to say, was...
Because I do know, we do know he was married to...
Go back down. Oh.
No. He's married to her during the show.
Yeah.
So, that doesn't answer the question I have.
Yeah.
Because still to this day, what was the reason for... Because then that was the driving edge to the separation of the two anyway.
Yeah.
Sound like even more gossip, this allegation holds weight with a little more factual context. Elle Key, whose real name is Elisa Pugliese, was an aspiring actress who couldn't land anything more than being an extra with no lines or no significance to the plot. From there, she transitioned to being a producer for small-time, low-budget independent drama films that had an extremely small or no theatrical release. She met Keegan at a film festival in early 2016 and became his, quote, business partner. Eventually, Elle and Keegan's relationship turned wrong.
See, you messy, bro. See, you so messy. You messy with this, though. You been messy. They got divorced in 2017. And he immediately got married to her in 2018.
I know what that look like and what that sound like. I ain't being messy. I'm just looking at the dates. Doing some calculation in my head.
So you believe
I don't believe nothing. I say that. That's good.
16 and became his quote business partner. Eventually, Elle and Keegan's relationship turned romantic and they got married in 2018. So for all the rumors saying that she is the reason why the Key and Peele show ended are just false. The show ended in 2015 and she didn't come into the picture until over a year later. Now the rumors saying that she might be the reason why they didn't continue working together, well, that's entirely different. What you'll notice is that as Elle became more present in Keegan's career, Jordan started becoming more distant, because remember, Keegan and Jordan worked together in 2022 on that animated show, but shortly after, everything changed. And it all centers around a book that Keegan and Elle co-authored called The History of Sketch Comedy, a journey through the art and craft of humor, which by the way is everyone's favorite subject, comedians talking about comedy. Well, one comedian at least. This book discusses subject matter that Keegan-Michael Key is undoubtedly an expert in, and aptly features him on the cover. They also created a podcast alongside this book. The credits describe Elle as the creator, writer, and director, whereas Key is simply just a performer and co-writer. To be clear, Elle Key has essentially no experience in sketch comedy, and has literally never said anything funny in her entire life. The idea that one of the greatest sketch comedy masterminds was portrayed as second fiddle to his wife in a podcast about sketch comedy was mind-boggling to say the least. But the project was well received. They won a Webby Award for Best Writing in a Podcast. When accepting, Elle gave a 5-word long speech that she couldn't do without crying, and Keegan did not get to say anything.
Damn.
Find someone who inspires you.
Find someone who's willing to let you take everything from them. Find you a goddamn fool.
Cause what? Okay. Okay.
Oh, that's it.
Okay.
Oh, you put goddamn as one. That's one.
Cause it
So
could be a
that's
word.
That's a vibe. Find you a goddamn fool.
Okay, come on.
Find you a goddamn fool.
They also did an interview on Late Night with Stephen Colbert, where she sat first chair next to the host, and Key was off to the side as if she was the guest and he didn't belong. Now to some, it seems like Keegan is merely being a respectful and generous husband, using his status to elevate his wife and portray her as his equal.
I think we both discovered that if we work on something together, it's better. Is that?
Yeah, that's a really good way of putting it, yeah.
But to others, based on...
We've seen this before.
And I was gonna also say, when you said find you a goddamn fool,
Yeah,
I mean, you didn't say dang when you said the other word.
Yeah.
You know, because some people be like, I think it's beautiful that, you know, that she
Yeah.
has a
But we've seen
partner
this
that
before.
supports her and encourages her and inspires her to do
Yeah.
other things. It just help her achieve her dreams, and she's always, you know,
But
whatever.
there's ways you can go about
But
doing that, though.
I just think sometimes it looks a little, I don't know, sometimes it feels different. Like, I see it a lot, and I do think it's beautiful. But sometimes, for some, like, when you look at it in some other aspects, I'm like, oh, it looks a little controlling. Like, it just kind of like...
I told you we've seen this before.
I don't know, but I don't know what you're talking about.
I know, because I like to talk in code.
Okay.
I love to talk in code. But we 100% have seen this before, where an actor or an actor comedian is on the come up.
It's on the come up.
Has a very popular television show.
show.
Everybody's wanting to work with them. Now their spouse is starting to input themselves into every aspect of their business, where the spouse, who is not the star, who is not the name and the face, is starting to piss off everybody. Mm-hmm. So now this celebrity goes down here, and nobody wants to work with them anymore.
Yeah.
We've seen it before.
Yes, we have.
But you don't know who I'm talking about.
Who, me?
Yes.
I thought you
We have 100% seen it before. Only thing is, flip it.
Oh, wait, flip it. Hold on. I know who you're talking about.
That's all I'm going to say.
Who you're talking about now.
Flip it and darken it up a little bit, and there you go.
Okay.
It's better.
Yeah, that's a really good way of putting it. Yeah.
But to others, based on Akilah's story, they see her as manipulating and forcing her way into creative spaces she otherwise would have never been a part of. Keegan's wording in this interview is particularly interesting. At first, he comes off endearing, but he also inadvertently admits that his wife uses him to advance her own career.
As you said, all good doors lead to Elle and her opening that.
Yeah, she opened. Yeah, it's like I'm the key, and she knows where the doors are. So you just have to have the courage to put the key in the door. It's always wonderful you have someone in your life who can show you where the doors are.
But it goes one step further, because it seems like Keegan has adopted the stereotypical wife guy personality, similar to Will Smith or Akash Singh, where the central focus of his identity is surrounding his less famous and less successful partner. Backstage at Stephen Colbert, they did one of those classic couples games where they see if they know each other really well, only for Key to completely second guess himself or outright say his wife was right every time they had opposing opinions.
Who said I love you first?
You ready?
Ready.
3, 2, 1. Huh.
Oh. Okay. I guess it was me.
To some, he is just being sweet. To others, he looks pathetic. Like when Keegan was asked what he was most proud of in his entire career, then changed his mind to what his wife said should be his most prideful moment.
What is Keegan's proudest accomplishment? I think this is it. Ready?
She's
3,
she's gonna be right. And
3, and you're gonna be.
If you can
She
believe
said what
it,
I think
I'm
she
going
gonna
to
say.
I know,
She's right.
And if that didn't convince you, there's another moment where the 50-year-old man says
How you gonna say she right? It's so proudest moment. What are you the most proud?
his wife even picks out his clothes because he can't do it.
Impeccably attired.
Oh.
I want to know what percentage of the...
Hey.
He said she picked this impeccable attire with this very white suburban outfit. Ain't no season salt in that motherfucker outfit.
Hey, I mean,
It's bland.
but I will look.
At least he over here sauced up with the shoes. You know what I'm saying? This is. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. The colors could even pop better on your skin tone because you are.
Yeah.
Come on, bro.
I mean, but this is what's in the closet. So.
Yeah, but he ain't put it in the closet. The shirt color, there's nothing wrong with the shirt color, but you could have made it a color that pops. Or the same shade, but more of an olive that pops. The pants could have been more of a whatever. Like
I feel you.
And the shots could have flowed off the shirts because they already hot water. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So they could have flowed.
Let me see what we about to say.
You gotta get you a woman who got a little seasoning. She would have had you looking better up there. You know what I'm saying? Now you ain't got a little Steve Harvey to suit it down. But I mean, what's his name? The host.
Let me see. You got Kelly, and
damn, who is Mark?
Ryan
Seacrest. I'm like live with Kelly and Mark. I'm like, who?
Yeah, I'm like, Mark? I knew Kelly and Mark. Yeah, I mean Kelly and Ryan.
Ryan Seacrest.
Yeah, Kelly and Ryan.
American Idol host.
Yeah, I remember him. Yeah.
Now Ryan Seacrest got some high end shoes on his feet. You know what I'm saying? You come on, bro.
Of this is your choice versus your wife's choice, because I know that your wife Elle.
Look, yes, my wife Elle is here. She is here. She's
Here
right
she
over here.
is.
Yes, my wife Elle has impeccable taste. So I'm one of those people who likes to leave things to the experts. So everything on my body was chosen for me today to wear by Elle.
He seems to seek validation from his wife for literally everything, constantly looking at her.
Here.
She's not no expert in clothing, bro. We all could tell. She don't know nothing about no fashion.
I agree. I couldn't hear that.
God damn. She over there with a thin piece of hair.
Okay, babe.
By Elle.
He seems to seek validation from his wife for literally everything, constantly looking at her to assure that he is saying the right thing.
Sometimes it's a challenge. Sometimes I meet her with a little bit of resistance, or a lot of resistance, some resistance. So, and she always remains patient with me.
The wife guy personality is often looked at as some sort of humiliation ritual because they publicly have to lower their own status and derive all of their self-worth around how lucky they are to be married to their wives. And although all of this can come across as completely cringe, it doesn't necessarily prove that Elle wedged herself between Keegan and Jordan Peele. TMZ reported that multiple sources connected to Keegan-Michael Key and Elle tell TMZ Akilah's stand-up narrative is outlandish and fabricated nonsense. Akilah fired back by posting screenshots of DMs, all entirely anonymous, of people trying to corroborate the narrative that Elle is a control freak. We had a whole fake script on set as a decoy to keep her busy and manipulate her while we shot the actual commercial. She kept his own mother and brother from their wedding and systematically cut everyone who was close to him out of his life. So Locke was my godfather growing up and was best friends with my mother all through college, so he had a huge impact on my life until he remarried his now wife. She completely changed him and the way he treated close family and friends. Not too long after he remarried, he cut off my mom and even his own family in a way. It seems that people have entirely bought into the narrative that Keegan was this innocent comic legend whose career and friendship with Jordan Peele has been destroyed by his egomaniac wife who has to control every little thing about him. But not many people are willing to cast blame on Keegan himself, who seems to admit that he didn't know his own potential, didn't believe in himself, and even can't dress himself. Sure, you could call it pathetic, but maybe this guy genuinely would not have pursued anything after Key and Peele if it wasn't for his wife.
And I saw a video of him singing, and I was like, oh, he can really sing. I mean, this is amazing. I said he was like a sports car that's stuck in traffic. Like, he has all of this power and all of this energy. And like, what is he doing with it?
That's the best analogy.
Why aren't you out there going 120 miles an hour? Like, why are you stuck where you are?
Since people were introduced to Keegan and Jordan as a comedic pair with incredible chemistry, it made fans assume that they were inseparable best friends off screen. So when Jordan became a successful director and Keegan didn't ascend in his career, it felt like there had to be some deeper reason, as if they weren't always just two individuals with separate career aspirations. People needed something or someone to blame to justify their career imbalances. Elle Key became the simple answer to a complicated story, but Jordan Peele's strategic silence on all of this leaves so much room for speculation. Until Jordan comes out and says all these rumors are baseless lies and that he and Keegan are still great friends, people are gonna run with the narrative that Elle Key is to blame for all of this. If anything, Key and Peele is a reminder that sometimes your favorite duos aren't best friends, but rather just co-workers who happen to make magic together for a brief moment in time. It reminds me a lot of Drake and Josh, who appeared to be best friends on screen, but behind the scenes was an entirely different story. But check out this video to hear about that.
A lot of times it's just business. Great business partners. We can make magic together, working together, doing whatever, but you don't have to be the best of friends. I mean, it is what it is. But I don't know their story, truly.
Yeah, I don't.
But yeah.
Hey, man, y'all spam us up. Y'all let us know y'all thoughts in the comments for us down below. But until next time, y'all know how it go, man. I do go by the name DJ New Kid. This is
Sierra Nicole.
We are.
Kid and C.
We out.
Ain't no time to kick it, got a stack of flip for my foes. Dollar, 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 dollar. Please tell me you can hear me. Don't turn your back and don't neglect me. Just let me know if you need me. Dollar, 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 dollar. Let me watch out for my partner.